What's happening, everybody? We're officially in the month of May. You know what that means. Just a few more months until they tee it up, which is crazy. Seems like the season just ended. But here we are, Baxter Street Boys. I'm your host, Cole Wilcox. Joined as always by co-host Jake Gordon, who's got his floor fixed, and the producer, Griffin Rudy. We got a lot of segments to get into tonight. Again, Mike White's hot. Winner of the week, Mike White. Go ahead and spoil that one. The dude's on a scorcher. We're going to talk about that. Going to talk about the guys who just got drafted. Shout out to them. Congratulations to all the dogs going on to the NFL. And then we got a little tier maker on the back half. Should be a fun one. Glad you guys are joining us. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on TikTok. We're about to get them popping. And appreciate you guys listening in. About to have a good one. Just lock it in. Let's go, dogs.
And McAllister down the left field line. Two have come in the paint. Oquendo. Tomahawk. Cable launches one to right field, and he knows it. A grand slam.
We just stepped on their face with a hobnail boot and broke their nose. We just crushed their face.
Front, snap, hold, kick. No! Good! No! Good! By the defense, 40, 30, they won't catch him. Go, Swift, into the end zone, touchdown! The freshman just ran it back to Philadelphia. Near sideline, and it's intercepted. Keely Ringo at the 21. Off he goes, 40, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, near sideline, breaks the tackle, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Georgia.
I know I'm asking a lot, you guys, but hunker it down one more time.
Scott Howard one just makes me laugh every time.
Dude,
I'm not sure what happened.
I can't get over it, man. We're gonna
I'm not sure what happened.
I'll never not laugh at it. I kind of want to leave it in for that reason. Like,
if I was listening to the radio, I would be like concerned that he was having a stroke or something. Like, genuinely, I'm not kidding.
Yeah, I don't know what went wrong, but Jake missed our last show fixing his floor. Give us a breakdown of what's going on there.
So whoever lives next to me, their washer came disconnected or something, and when they went to do a load of laundry, it just dumped all the water directly down my wall and onto my floor. So that's nice.
That's electric, honestly.
On average, how much water is used in one load of wash? Like a lot, isn't it?
Enough to take up about a third of my floor. So
yeah, I heard one time, I can't remember what it was, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I did not realize it took that much water to do that, but. Yeah, that's a problem. That's one of those things that comes up, and it's just a brutal thing to have to do. So what you do?
We're all right now.
What is it, tile?
No, it's laminate, thank God. So that makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
I mean, I got finals and stuff going on, so I've been at the library anyways, and they're almost done with everything. There's still a couple tiles missing, but nothing crazy. It should be done this week, so happy about that.
Nice, Griff. What's the word?
Dude, I'm just chilling. You know,
yeah.
we had a little beach trip with place I work this past weekend. It's a lot of fun hanging out with our fams that we serve, and just a good week. Rained a lot though. There was a literal hurricane on Thursday. I mean, it was honestly pretty scary, but it was also kind of hilarious. Laguna Beach.
I'm still just holding it down in Montgomery. Playing ball every day. Broke a 6-game losing streak today, so the Biscuits are back on track.
All the way back.
So, all right. So before we get a deep dive into what we're going to talk about, a little segment that I'm going to call WHOT, the WHOT. What's happening on Twitter? So this page today, the Big Orange Punch. What's your favorite / most memorable Vols sports moment? I'll start. Most memorable, not like within the last few years, whatever. It was the Hail Mary. And you know what? It's like, whatever. And it's not because it happened to us. It's just because I know if my team, that would be like us beating Missouri last year the way we did. Say it was a Hail Mary, though, and acting like that was the biggest moment of the season, beating a really bad team.
The biggest moment of the season. We were still saying it 5 years later.
Right. Yeah. It's almost embarrassing that, we were not very good. Tennessee was out supposed to be – that's their best year in forever, and they beat us on a Hail Mary. Regardless, that wasn't the worst thing tweeted during that whole thread.
Oh, not even close.
So, no context Tennessee Vols, who has 1,800 followers. This moment in Neyland when I was 13, I swear the whole stadium was shaking. It was when they blocked one of our punts in 2013. Or not 2013. Whatever year this was.
That was 2013.
It was 2013. Yeah, they blocked the punt in Neyland, place going nuts. It was the game that Pig Howard fumbled the game away. Like, how do you
Can't make
have
it
that
up,
little
man.
of shame? That'd be like us posting like the Alec Ogletree blocked field goal and be like, this is the greatest Georgia moment of all time. Like, yeah, it was sick in the moment. It probably would have been if we would have won that game. But now it's like, I mean, that just reminds us of dark times. They literally fumbled the game away. And that's a clip they're pulling the game from. Tennessee fans have a problem, like a serious
They do.
problem.
It's tough.
And the draft brought a lot of just no shame from Tennessee, Florida, and Bama all. Like it was embarrassing. It truly was embarrassing, some of the things they were saying on Twitter. I was embarrassed for them.
It was fly the banner. That's all I just kept saying in my head. So many just small victories that mean pretty much absolutely nothing. Just fly the banner.
I'm trying to think of some of the things. I remember there was the Zach Reagans dude who's I already know is not all the way there, but he was just like planting his flag on the fact that one of the analysts mentions that some of the Georgia coaches weren't fans of Jalen Carter. Like he wrote articles on it. He did all this stuff. Like what is the point of this, dude? He's like they made his backhanded themselves in the recruiting trail. Yeah, our 2024
sure.
class is really taking a hit due to this for sure. What an idiot!
I saw an interesting take from what's that guy on SEC? Roman, what's his last name? Roman Harper. Yeah. He said that Hendon Hooker right now is a better quarterback than Jared Goff.
Oh my gosh,
crazy stuff.
that's just so bad. And then the Florida no shame was the fact that they were flaunting Anthony Richardson got drafted higher than any of our players, which is crazy. Like, yeah,
Good luck, man.
The fact that people don't understand the backhanded irony they're getting in this, which is, yeah, you just had a quarterback number 4 overall and you won 6 games.
Both years with him playing.
How bad is your team? How
They
bad
went
is your coaching staff?
Under 500 both years with Anthony
With the top
Richardson, number 4
pick
overall
at quarterback. Yeah, so you
That's
had that.
embarrassing.
Even Pate called him out on that. And then Bama was somehow just the whole entire first 3 rounds talking about Stetson. Like, I don't know what their problem was with Stetson. And then he gets drafted in the 4th round. And they have nothing to say. Like, it's unbelievable. It was a display of no shame, like I said, on Twitter throughout the whole draft from the opposing fan bases.
He won't get drafted. He'll never play now. That's what it is.
Play.
But
Dude, it's insane.
listen, he very quietly entered the best possible situation of any of the quarterbacks that got drafted in this draft.
The only problem is McVay could be done soon, which would be a huge hit to his development.
That
But
would be a massive hit.
if he stays around and coaches the mailman, and yeah, that might be the greatest show on turf again out there in freaking that it used to be. I just went brain dead where the Rams used to be. St. Louis. Used to be St. Louis, but they moved out to LA. Yeah, but the draft kind of leading into that. Griff, you have a list of all the guys who got drafted.
Yeah, I sure do. All right, let's just go down the line.
Yeah, just roll down.
Number 1, first round, pick number 9, Jalen Carter to the Eagles. They moved around to get him, right? They moved up a little bit, moved up
one spot.
Yeah, from the Bears.
No.
I think it's a great move for them. I think they got probably the most value that anybody got in the draft.
Just roll through them all, and then we'll talk about them.
Oh, okay, I got you. Round 1, pick 14, Broderick Jones to the Steelers. Round 1, pick 30, Nolan Smith to the Eagles. Round 3, pick 93, Darnell Washington to the Steelers. Round 4, pick 105, Keely Ringo to the Eagles. Round 4, pick 128, Stetson Bennett to the Rams. Round 5, pick 170, Chris Smith to the Raiders. Round 5, pick 173, Robert Beal to the Niners. Round 5, pick 174, Warren McClendon to the Rams. And round 7, pick 237, Kenny McIntosh to the Seahawks.
Before we really dive into this, I want to ask y'all if one of these just absolutely blows my mind. And I want to know if y'all have the same one that I'm thinking of.
Warren McClendon?
Yes. Like, Warren McClendon, 3-year starter, right? He started as a freshman at right tackle.
I think so. I'm not entirely sure, but he's played for a while, yeah.
And he's been awesome. Like, he has been absolutely awesome in every single game we played, it seems like. it's just one of those picks. It was like Jamari Sawyer from last year. It's like, what? How is he still on the board? He's an impact guy from day one, and he was the all rookie team with the Chargers. Made a start, just absolutely dominated and kept the job from there. And it's like, oh, how did we miss this guy? Well, because I know personally from the baseball draft that the draft is the most overthought out process to ever hit the earth, and people think it's just like us normal people that don't scout on Twitter do it. No, the scouts do it too. Like, everyone overthinks to the max. Like, all right, we have a guy who's played in the SEC. He's played right tackle. Clearly, he can play there. You can probably move him to guard if you really want to. And he's absolutely dominated some of the best edge rushers you're going to see in the NFL already. Like, he's going to be good. The Rams got a starter in round 5 is all I'm hearing.
Yeah, I think a lot of it too is, you look at a lot of these good teams, and they're the teams that always just like. I mean, the Eagles are one too. The Ravens. The Steelers, teams like that, they just have good players fall into their laps, and then they just say, oh, well, we could go with this project guy who might be good in 3 years, or we can just get somebody that we know is good. And, I mean, we see it every year.
Did Warren not test well or something? Like, am I missing something?
I think he might have had medicals. I'm not even sure.
That one, I don't –
He
was – don't understand it.
Was he the one that was in the wreck with –
Yeah, but I don't – I guess that could weigh into it.
I thought I saw that. I know Keely and Darnell both had medicals too, but
yeah, I heard about Darnell, another overthinker. Like, you just got a 10-year starter. Like, he could never catch a pass in the NFL, and he would be a starter every single game. Because, like I said, he's the best blocking tight end I've ever seen in my life. You're adding another tackle on the field that can also release and have crazy yards after catch type stuff. So, yeah, I think that's a slam dunk pick by the Steelers, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Steelers. They're going to use him perfectly too. I think all these guys landed in some really good situations, honestly.
Maybe not Chris Smith. I just don't trust the Raiders.
The only one that I don't love the situation too is kind of Kenny Mack. They drafted Charbonnet too, and they have what's his face?
Kenny Walker.
They have Kenneth Walker, but Kenny is a better pass catcher than both those guys.
I think. I guess a lot of teams use 3 backs in that way. So I mean, I'm sure he'll get a lot of run. But
yeah.
I was losing my mind thinking he was going to go undrafted. That just would have made no sense.
I know. Yeah, he's a steal too. He's a guy who's just an absolute weapon. I mean, you could put him in the slot. That's pretty cliche for a lot of running backs, but he legitimately could play there.
I think Nolan Smith is a steal at 30. To be quite honest.
Yeah.
Just kept falling and falling, and finally a good team just scooped him right up. I mean, the Eagles got 2 guys who were talking about going in the top 10 leading up through this whole cycle. And that doesn't guarantee they're going to be good, but I pointed this out on Twitter. I kind of wonder, because they've tried the quarterback receiver experiment. They got Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts. We've seen it work with Burrow and Chase. Like, are they just trying to do this with the whole defense? I mean,
yeah, I guess so. I mean, like.
They think there's just good enough chemistry between all these guys and so much talent. Like, I mean, I guess it makes sense. I guess we'll see if it works.
When I was watching –
Go ahead.
When I was watching the draft and that 30th pick came up as the Eagles and Nolan hadn't gotten picked yet, I was like, if somebody will give me plus 200 odds that this is Nolan Smith, I'll put $50 on it. And nobody would take it. And,
when they traded up, I texted my buddy and I was like, watch, they're going to take Keely. And I was like, just kind of kidding. And then they actually did.
Yeah, they've assembled some talent, man, and like that's one of those things where I'm talking about, like, don't overthink it. Just take the best players, and they seem to do it every single year.
They just get Georgia and Bama players, and then they just went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and you have in this draft cycle alone, obviously last year everybody knows that they got JD, who played a lot for them, N'Kobe, who should have a much more expanded role this year for them. Now you're adding Jalen Carter, instant impact day one guy, like, disgusting. Nolan Smith, I think he needs to refine a little bit of his pass rush, but I think he's going to play a lot. And you got Keely, who I still think he can play corner personally, but even if you make the move to like a nickel corner or safety, like, that's so much talent there that you're willing to gamble on. How sick would it be if they had 5 starters on defense, all from Georgia? Played on a Monday night game, just picture that, like, Jalen Carter, University of Georgia. Nakobe Dean, University of Georgia.
That'd be so sick.
That'd be awesome. And then, not to mention, they trade for DeAndre Swift right in the middle of the draft.
Oh yeah, I know. I keep forgetting about that.
Which, if you're talking about just slam dunk spots for him to land, like Miles Sanders is gone, he's going to feast.
Yeah, he will.
I think
Feast.
I think my favorite
And
pick
he's
was
back in
probably-
Philly. He's back in
Oh, yeah.
Philly.
Yeah, he's
Like,
from
bro,
Philly. Yeah, exactly. I
So
think my
cool.
favorite pick was Broderick going to Pittsburgh. I think that's a really good fit. I mean, him and Darnell both too. Just they needed 2 tackles, and then they just got one that can catch passes, and then I think they got the
Right.
best one in the draft.
Yeah, they needed blocking really bad. Got a young quarterback, good weapons. Got to protect them. Got to keep them upright, and they go get 2 of the best blockers that have wore the red and black. So I think those are 2 fantastic picks. Fantastic picks. I know Najee Harris has to be happy about those 2. I mean,
Oh,
that dude couldn't get to the line of scrimmage last year. Bad O line. So yeah, I thought that was a great pick too. You're right. I was genuinely pissed at the Lions, and I love Jahmyr Gibbs. I think he's a freak athlete. He's from pretty much our hometown. But like, you have Swift sitting there. You just signed
Jamal
David
Williams.
Montgomery. Yeah,
Oh,
they signed David Montgomery a 3-year deal. And when I was like, I figured Swift would get traded, but at the same time, I'm like, this is outrageous. DeAndre Swift is one of the most talented backs in the NFL. Let the dude eat.
Did they extend Jamal Williams too, or no?
No, he went to New Orleans.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm glad he got out of there. The Lions are an absolute dumpster. They're always going to be a dumpster. There's some organizations they're just always going to be dumpsters.
I mean, they
I
drafted Hendon Hooker, so I mean that doesn't help either.
I think
Listen,
one team that doesn't get enough credit for being a dumpster is the Tennessee Titans. I think they're one of the worst run franchises in the NFL.
They just
When
drafted
I went
Hooker.
to their stadium, they still had like Vince Young posters up, like ingrained on their stadium. I'm like, he was like one of the bigger busts that y'all ever drafted.
I think
Makes no sense.
I think the biggest surprise for me was definitely Bobby Beal getting taken ahead of Kenny, though. I did not see that coming.
No,
No.
I
I think it's
mean,
a good fit for Bobby Beal though.
yeah, for sure. And hats off to him, dude. Like, he's a guy who barely played at all his first 4 years. Big time recruit. Unbelievable. Like, was it his commitment video that was so sick? And like, he came out and didn't play a lot for 4 years, and then all of a sudden he leads the team in sacks on the best defense of all time, and then plays really well last year, team captain, and now he's going to the 49ers. So I think we got a sick situation for Bobby Beal and a great story too. Well, any other draft thoughts before we move on?
No, I don't think so. I think
I mean-
I think I'm ready to talk a little basketball unless Griff's got something.
Yeah, I mean, I could talk about how Hendon Hooker is going to be like the worst NFL quarterback ever because he's just giant system quarterback. But I'd just be dunking on Tennessee and it's not.
It sounds
good.
personal. Sounds personal to you right now.
Yeah. I mean, I just seen a bunch of it on Twitter, and it's just kind of blowing my mind that people actually think that he's going to be able to, work in the NFL the way he did in college. But whatever.
Oh Lord, it aligns too. Yeah, just a trash organization.
And the thing is, I kind of like the Lions too. Like I kind of like Dan Campbell. I love the Lions when Matthew Stafford was there. Like,
They're
But-
terrible.
yeah.
All right. Well, as we said at the beginning, Mike White's hot again. He lands Blue Cane today. Blue Cane out of IMG. He's
Sniper.
shooting guard. He shot 48% at IMG. I was mind blown when I saw that stat. That's outrageous. He's hitting 50% of his threes. We need that. We need.
I got.
Yeah.
I was watching this highlight reel today. I get Grady Dick vibes.
Is that just because he's white?
No, he kind of shoots like him too. He kind of like got the same build. I don't know. They just look like each other on the court.
So
Andy's
Blue Cane. He was a super fast riser this year. He wasn't like super highly rated. Like he's taking visits to Howard, and he ended up committing to Georgia Tech last year. Gets out of it when they get rid of Pastner, and then he exploded this year at IMG. He was one of their main guys. Flew up the boards. He's ranked as high as 53 on ESPN in the country. Super athletic, long, can really shoot. I read it in his report. He knows when he's open. He knows when he's not. He takes care of the ball. He's very aggressive on offense.
We need
That's
that.
what we need. We need some of
Take care
that.
of the ball.
So that leaves us with one scholarship left. And again, if you listened last week, let's just break down the roster real quick. Returners, we have Jabri Abdur-Rahim, sniper. We have 6'11" Frank Anselm in the post. We have returning veteran point guard Justin Hill. We have defensive-minded threat Usain Holt, super long, super athletic. Kind of sky's the limit there. And then M.A. Moncrief, who turned into one of our better players towards the end of the year. And then from the portal, Jalen Deloach from VCU, all-conference player there, 6'9", super athletic, super high energy. RJ Melendez, Illinois, can really defend and can really shoot. A true 3-and-D guy who's very athletic as well. And then Russell Tachua, 7-footer from USF. Yes, 7 foot, 280 pounds, just a big, big body. Then we have the incoming freshmen, Silas Damari Jr., Dylan James, Amari Jordan, and Blue Kane, all in the top 100 in pretty much every site. That is good for the 13th ranked class in the country, second in the SEC. How about that?
Oh man,
In basketball.
Feels nice.
Listen,
I see
people better
third
start
on
getting
3.
worried.
It's 16th nationally, which is crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
my favorite thing too
13th on
is
247.
if you look at the national rankings too, 17 is just pro, and it's just 1 5-star. That's how high up on the ranking it is. I
Yeah.
don't know why they have that listed, but
What?
Yeah, the 5 stars hold so much weight in basketball because there's like 20 of them.
What is
Yeah.
the ceiling for this basketball team now?
So I was thinking
this
about
coming
this.
year.
So the first, before we got these last couple high school recruits, we were really only getting transfers, and I liked it because I wanted guys who could play now. But I'm also like, all right, we still need some guys that like
You can
super
build it.
talented young guys that you can kind of build a core with. Like you look at the teams that are really, really good, and they have those 3 or 4 guys that is somehow turned to seniors. Like look at Tennessee. Somehow these guys stay there. They're not like NBA players, but they stay there for 4 years and they go get some transfers to put around them, and all of a sudden they're a really good team. That's what I was hoping Mike White would do, and that's exactly what he's done now. Super talented recruiting class. And I was thinking about this because the guys that are returning were all pretty high recruits. Like Jabri Abdur-Rahim was a 4-star. Frank Anselm went to Syracuse. I think he was like a high 3, low 4-star. Justin Hill was a mid-major transfer. He's a late bloomer. Usain Holt was a 4-star. Moncrief was a 3-star. So those are the guys that returning, super talented. And those are guys that can have higher ceiling. But there's some guys who's leaving, like Cario is a super talented guy to me. I think he kind of reached his basketball ceiling. Some of these guys have not reached their ceiling yet. And in the portal, you go get guys who were impact players on good teams, which I love. I love that. And then you have the freshmen coming in. I think this is the most talented roster since – I think it's more talented than this roster, but Tom Crean's second year when we got the big recruiting class with Anthony Edwards. In that class was Jaquan Walton. We had Severe Wheeler. We had Tumani Kamara. We had all those guys in the one class, but then Tom Crean ran them all off, so it didn't really matter. But I think it's the most talented team since then, easily. And then even beyond that, you can make an argument it's the most talented roster we've had in 20 years in Athens.
I think Mike White's really going to start getting some attention if he can do the impossible. Well, not the impossible, but the improbable, and pull Asa Newell in 2024, top 10 ranked player, actually from Athens. Jacob brother walked on for the team. We'll have to see about that. Yeah, I would love to have him, but I don't get too tied up in high school basketball recruiting because sometimes these kids can just up and say, "Well, I'm going pro," and
basketball recruiting has to be brutal as a coach. I mean, football is brutal enough, but basketball's always been even more corrupt than football has. So, Griff, you asked about the ceiling for this year. I don't like fans are going to set super high expectation, and that's good because I think this is a team that can live up to them. I do think, though, that 4 of our most talented players will be freshmen. So I think you have to kind of temper that a little bit. And basketball is one of those sports where freshmen probably can have the biggest impact because they learn ball. You learn quick. Like basketball is one of those sports you learn quick, especially in college. And so I think by the end of the year, they can really be clicking. I think if you make the tournament, it's successful, like 100%.
Oh, no doubt.
Successful.
Yes.
And I'm not like I know people
is that
joking
is
around
that
saying Sweet 16 and stuff like that. Making a tournament would be super successful because then you're going to return most of these guys.
So is that
Yeah.
the expectation making the tournament? I think.
I think a bubble team is for sure the expectation.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, you look at a team like Auburn and Mississippi State, like they won 20 games. I mean, Georgia won 16 last year, and I think this roster is going to be better. I think they're all going to be a little more cohesive. I think you can make the tournament. I don't think it's some abject failure if you're one of the first 4 teams out. You know,
Right.
we saw, was it Xavier that won the NIT last year, and then they go on a big run this year? I mean, you're setting
Yes.
things up. But I definitely think they should at least be in the conversation. It shouldn't be like this year where we got a first game loss to LSU and just know nothing and that ended the season on a real sour note. I think they can definitely make some strides. I think they should at least 1 or 2 SEC tournament games, maybe. You know, it just depends on how seeding works. But you know, they won some games they shouldn't this year. They beat Auburn, they beat Kentucky, lost some games they shouldn't. But the SEC is only getting better, so.
And a lot of that was coaching. I think we can all agree on that. Because our roster this year was solid. It had some talent, but it wasn't like we were outmanned. You know, a lot of the games we were outmanned. And I'm hoping like within the next few years, we're not at that point. And I think we're going to see this year that we're not going to be near as outmanned. And I think we're going to be able to outman some of the teams at the bottom. But the size that he's bringing in, the length, that's what we've been missing for so long in Georgia. Just teams that are just we just haven't been able to match up like at all. Teams are just longer than us. Teams can defend better than us because they can get in the passing lane. They're bigger in the post. We haven't had a post this size in forever, as Tua will be. I don't care if he doesn't score. If he can defend the paint, it's a success in my opinion. And he averaged 11 points at South Florida, so it ain't like he can't score. So I'm super excited about this team. I think there's a lot of talent there, and there's a lot of ability, and we're well coached. So
over under 19.5 wins.
I haven't seen the schedule. What's the non-conference look like?
Has it been released yet? Doesn't that kind of come out late?
I'm not sure. But, I mean, last year we feasted on a really bad non-conference schedule, but we needed to. Like, we got to establish how to win a little bit.
I don't think the schedule's out yet.
Yeah, probably not. So, I was fine with that. We're going to have to challenge ourselves a little bit if we truly want to make the tournament, because even when we were like 16-8 or whatever we were, not 16-8, but when we were like 12-8, our RPI was still terrible because we had beat nobody that good. So
it looks like we do have Wake Forest, Georgia Tech, and North Florida scheduled, and we should probably win all 3 of those games.
Yeah, Georgia Tech's acquiring some talent, but
I don't know what Wake's bringing back because they weren't bad last year. They're pretty solid.
They were decent.
They didn't make the tournament, did they? They were playing team.
No,
they were playing team.
Yeah,
I think they were 11-11 playing.
No, they weren't in the play-in. They were just out. But they were kind of right around it when it got to the end of it. They kind of.
I think they got knocked out in the ACC tourney like really early or something.
They lost to Miami in the second round or whatever.
Yeah, so I like I said, I think bubble would be great. Like keep us in it for the whole season for the first time in forever. I think that would be a slam dunk for the season. And then if you make the tournament, like you got all the momentum in the world going forward. And I think they will. Like I said, it shouldn't just be outman. And last year we talked about it on here. I knew we were going to run into problems early in the year, even when we were winning some games, because Terry Roberts was our only playmaker. Mm-hmm. He was our only true playmaker. And he couldn't just do that the whole year. Like if you took him away, you needed someone else to step up. And towards the end of the year, Justin Hill started stepping up a little bit, being a playmaker. Now we're bringing in guys who can handle the rock, who are aggressive. That's what we need. We needed some offensive aggression. The team defended pretty well. We defended really well without much of a paint presence. Like that's stuff to do. And now you're going to have Deloach down there. You're going to have to Chua down there. You're going to have Ansel mixing in. You have guys who can defend the paint a little bit, and that's going to help out a lot.
Agreed.
All right. Anything else basketball?
I don't think so. I'm excited. I want to figure out.
I'm just pumped for the Hoop Dogs, man. When we got that Blue Cane commit today, I was sitting there. I was like, man, I can't wait for basketball season this early on too, and that's kind of unusual.
Happened
this early on.
Yeah. So I mean, I think top half of the SEC would be a slam dunk of the season.
Looks like middle of August maybe is when the schedule is going to come out, and that really sucks because I feel like that's when we really start ramping up football, and we probably just never noticed.
Yeah, we'll just throw that under the rug after Georgia's houses some team by 40 opening day.
Yeah.
All right. So we hinted at the beginning. We're going to move into a tier maker. We've never done it on this show before. We released one on head coaches last year. just overall, and it was actually a big time hit on Twitter. I was very proud of the tier maker because I feel like it was pretty accurate at the time. It'll be changed up a little bit this year, but today we're going to do tier maker of SEC football helmets. We're going to be a helmet judge. I think Griffin has acquired every team's traditional and then one alternate. So this should be good.
Except for Alabama and Auburn. They don't have alternates on here.
Makes sense. The tiers are as follows: S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, and hell.
Shout out to TWS. They do a tier in every week. It's all good fun. I love making a nice tier list. You gotta get some rankings out because it gets the people talking. People love to.
And we'll probably add some detail to some of these tiers as we go. Like it will not end S, A, B, C. I can already tell you that right now.
I'm trying to name some of these.
I think once we start doing live shows again too, this will be a big hit with everybody. We'll get everybody to chime in.
Yeah.
Sure. I have my first submission. We can kind of just do this in whatever order. Powder blue Ole Miss, easy S tier. I'd
have to agree.
It's just a good color scheme. Like I don't think there's anything special about the helmet itself, but just that scheme is beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
nominate one for hell immediately off the get go, and it's this Georgia one right here.
You gotta put that one there. I mean, those Georgia alternates against Boise State. I mean, everybody knows it's like in the lore of Georgia football history. Like when you think of bad uniforms, that's the first thing that pops up.
I think if they had won that game, people would have a different tune, but I still don't.
I think so too, but they're going into hell.
It honestly wasn't the helmet that was the worst part. The uniforms were worse.
I don't know. I kind of hated the helmet. I didn't like the silver. I kind of like the jerseys better than I like the helmet. I mean,
I'd like to put Missouri's alternate right beside that one, if y'all are good with that.
Missouri's alternate.
Hang on. I don't hate that one that much.
I don't hate it either.
Hang on.
I think it looks like yellow freaking like they played a team with yellow helmets and they had black helmets and they just
like I don't love it, but I don't. We
gotta say, should it be slumming down there with the silver UGA one? I think it's C or
okay. I can live with C. I think
is it fugly? Should C be fugly?
No, but we'll think of something as stuff goes in.
Okay. For my next one, let me get the icy white Arkansas alternate. I'm gonna put that one in. I'm gonna put that one in A. I'm
gonna try the helmet they wear. Correct? I swear they do.
From like the Hunter Henry days.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I was just making sure.
I think it's really good.
Fake, honestly.
I think it looks. I vividly remember like Hunter Henry and like Tyler Wilson wearing these helmets. They are real.
Okay,
I know
scroll down, Grace, so I can see all the helmets.
Oh yeah, my bad.
What we got on the Kentucky alternates?
The Chrome. That's honestly not the hell.
They're bad, dude. They're bad. And their traditional aren't much better. Like their traditional can't be much higher than C.
No,
I think the traditional belongs in C as well.
I don't think there's going to be many S tier.
Their logo kind of sucks. I mean,
I'm going to try to be objective too. I'm not going to let my bias come into this.
But
put Kentucky in C, Griff.
All right.
So we have So
hold on. I think this one can go up to B. I kind of like Kentucky's color scheme. I think it's good.
I mean, the blue is a nice color. The blue is a nice color.
They have a white too. I think the white would have been. I know the Chrome. They have like 5 helmets.
I had to include the. I could have put 30 Vanderbilt helmets on here. They've got insane unlimited.
Okay.
Helmets.
Let's go. Let's move to Vanderbilt. Their traditional helmets are putrid. Like they're bad.
On B or C? Kentucky on B or C?
I would say B, but I'm not gonna argue over C.
I'm good with either, honestly.
Yeah, B's fine. I'm fine with B.
Okay.
I'm not.
It's not as ugly as that Missouri helmet. That's
no, it's not. You're right. 100%
okay.
Not.
But Vanderbilt. So
I like those.
I hate this new logo.
I don't hate that one.
I like the
gold
star way better.
The gold looks a lot better, but the logo does not. Is my thing.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but I like the gold and I like that like material on the outside of it. I think that traditional one right there, that picture, that traditional one is horrible.
It looks scrubby. It does.
It does. Like scrub.
Should we just add a Vanderbilt tier and just throw both of those in there? Because I really don't know what to think about this.
Yeah, let's do that. Below C and
just put between C and hell. Just put Vandy tier.
How do I add a tier on here?
Hit the cog on the side.
This thing?
No, the gear.
All right, hold up. What the hell?
Oh,
is
you're
going on?
jacking it up, bro. Quit hitting the arrows.
Oh, here we go. Here I got it. There we go. Bang.
Yeah, hit the I'll say add a row below.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're rolling.
Yeah. Yeah, Vandy tier. They're both bad. I mean, the alternate one is not near as bad as this one, but they can both go in the same one. All right. Let's fill up the S tier real quick. Let's lay down here and fill up the S
Well,
tier.
no, let's keep doing it. Let's keep doing the one at a time because I want objective opinions because we're gonna get tied up and argue over all these if we just I don't know.
What about the Smoky Grays, Tennessee?
That's
I hate the
hell.
Smoky Grays.
That's hell.
No, okay,
Come on.
look, let's try to be a little objective.
I
think
am
it's
being
C.
objective. It is ugly as shit. It has
Actually,
4 different grays on
I think
it.
it's C.
I think it's bad. I've hated their Smoky Grays from the get go. It's just one of those.
I'm trying not
I
to think
hate-
about the uniform, which is ugly.
I hate when teams.
The helmet's ugly. Too.
Use
The black
colors.
helmet looks okay.
I hate
for
when teams
Tennessee.
use colors that aren't their colors. Like it drives me nuts. The Smoky Gray is in no way Tennessee colors. I hate it.
I think it's hell.
And their traditional ones I don't hate. Like I think it's simple. I think it pops. I think when you see that, that's a very like college football branded helmet. That
Or-
Tennessee traditional helmet. I
Hear
put
me
it in
out.
B.
Hear me out. We add a tier, a makes no sense tier, and it's in between Vandy and hell.
I think it would just be the Tennessee helmet, but if you want to do it, I don't know. Unless
Yeah,
you
I
see
don't know.
another
I've
one.
got another one that I think belongs in the makes no sense tier.
We could.
What
okay,
is that?
That's fine. Is it
The Ole Miss
Realtree?
one. Yeah.
See, but the problem is the Ole Miss Realtree one does make sense because the guy that owns Realtree gives Ole Miss a lot of money. That's why. It
Okay.
makes
So
sense.
I didn't know that. That makes sense.
I didn't know that either. Apparently, he's a large donor, quote unquote. I don't know. I'm cool with putting it in hell. If you want to put it in hell, that's fine. I'm not gonna.
All right.
I'm not gonna
I
die.
would
in the
put
hell.
Smoky there, and then I like the traditional Tennessee. I'd put in B. Like
I think
I think
you can go in
it's
B.
a good helmet.
It is an iconic helmet.
I have
I
something
hate
that
the
might
color
be.
one. That's just me, so.
I have something that might be a little controversial here.
Well,
And
okay.
yes. Go,
I
go.
wish you would. I wish you would put the other variant of this helmet on here. I don't know. Maybe LSU and S tier. Maybe.
I like
LSU
helmet.
is in S tier. The yellow is in S tier.
Y'all remember the white helmets they used to have? That
Yeah,
just
they
had
were
I do have the
sideburns?
white helmets in here.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Okay. That one is definitely S tier to me. I don't know.
I think
How
the
do y'all
yellow
feel
is
about that?
S tier too. Honest to God, I think that
I
helmet
like
is beautiful.
LSU. I like their colors a lot. I think,
And their
I think
logo
it's
is so
good.
nice.
Yeah, agree.
That's I agree.
You think they both
should we
go in
go?
S tier?
Should we go white alternate A tier? Maybe?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
All right,
white
what-
alternate A tier.
Yeah.
I think the yellow is like college football. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when I think
I
about like
agree.
SEC football, that's one of the first.
like
helmets that
Death
I-
Valley on college game day.
Exactly.
They're running out of those. I got another one that y'all may not feel as highly about it I do. I think South Carolina's traditional helmet's one of the best helmets in the SEC.
I don't
I
think
agree.
it's bad.
I
think
agree.
I think it's deserving of an A tier.
Yeah, at least. I would fight for it if it was anything less than A.
I honestly was thinking that the South Carolina, the white helmet belongs in S tier because I think their logo is sick and it's different.
I agree. I love it. I would put it as high as y'all want to put it.
I'm not
I think
gonna fight with y'all over it if that's how we want to do it.
Let's go
Yeah,
S tier.
I like the S tier. Here's one that a lot of people, my dad would fight for it to be S tier. I know that. And a lot of traditional people would too. And it might be backwards from what we said. I think Alabama has the most overrated helmets in the sport.
I knew
Agreed.
we were gonna
B.
get to this at some point. I think A just because I do like the numbers. I think it's a classic look. And like we talk about LSU though, like when you see that helmet, you think like college
Yeah.
football. I don't think it's S tier, but I think A just like they're not doing too much with it. It's not like that Missouri C tier. And
Yeah, agreed. I do think the classic factor bumps it up 100%.
You get points
But-
for that. You get
But
points.
some
for
people
that.
act like it's like one of the best helmets in college football. And I think that's insane.
I think
Yeah,
it's an
I
A
agree.
tier. I'd put it above Kentucky and Tennessee, but below all the ones we got in S.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I agree
Yeah.
with that. We'll go A. Yeah, A tier.
We haven't gotten
So-
the dogs yet. I mean, what are we doing with the dogs?
I mean, I think we all know what's going to happen there, but
Let me just hold
The
on.
Power G.
just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, there we go.
Actually, put it before Ole Miss, Griff. Put it first.
Oh, okay, yeah. Wait, should we
So-
add a tier at the top for the dogs?
No,
Yeah.
because
Nah,
because
yeah, we're getting too crowded at that point.
that makes it like we meant it. You know what I'm saying? Like
But we
not,
did.
not like a shtick if we do dogs at the top. Like that's like S tier.
True.
number one.
We got to let people know. I have one that's not going to be very popular with anybody, but I think the Florida white with the F, the script F, I think that goes kind of hard. I'd put it in
No,
A.
agreed. I think
In
I
A
think the
tier?
orange ones are piss.
Yeah, I think the orange ones are
They're
awful. I do really like the
terrible.
white ones.
Yeah, agreed. 100% agreed.
We think
Hey,
it's the-
here's a good. Put the Florida orange in the Vandy tier.
That's what I was gonna say.
All right, perfect.
We're getting down to the nitty gritty here.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Mississippi State maroon can go in C. I think the white is deserving of
Agreed.
B. I don't know how y'all feel about that. I think the white can go in B. I think
the
the
white
Yeah,
can
I
go
like
B.
the white.
Nothing special about the logo or anything. I think it goes in B. C. Yeah.
As much as I love the traditional South Carolina, this alternate one is no bueno. I don't love
Really,
You don't
I
like the
kinda
black one
like
at
it.
all?
I
kinda
like the
it too.
logo.
I like matte black is my thing. I love me a nice matte black.
So, like, where are you saying? Where would you put it?
I'd probably put it in B.
I could.
I don't know, Griff. Griff, what do you think?
I was thinking A.
Nah.
Okay, I think
Nah,
B.
I'm
We'll
B.
land on B.
I'll go-
I
Because
can't
Cole,
put
Cole,
that in A.
Cole seems like he's feeling like C or hell.
It needs
You
to be.
got
It
A.
needs to be two below the top one at least.
Okay, we'll go
It's
B
not
then.
as good as the white Florida, like it's not good as the
No.
white Florida script, and it's not as bad as the Missouri mustard stain.
I hate that Missouri one. Oh, it's terrible.
We're gonna have.
There's
to come
a
up with
worse
tier.
Missouri one that I should have put on here.
I
Is
like the
that-
black Missouri one a lot.
What's the mustard color looking Missouri one that has just that old M on it? The throwback one. That one.
Oh
that
yeah,
one's
that's like
terrible.
the Chase Daniel helmet.
That one
Yeah, that
belongs
one's
in
bad.
hell. That one belongs in hell.
So here's the problem. I don't think the A&M whites are great, but
I like
when
that. I
when
like the
picture
M
those.
whites,
I
honestly.
picture Johnny Manziel.
I would
swinging
was
around.
literally
Exactly.
just about to. I was literally just about
That's
to say
exactly
that.
what I was thinking.
Like Johnny
Should we-
Manziel raised A&M brand so high.
Should we go Johnny Manziel tier and then we'll do the other red A&M helmet?
Yeah,
Where
Yes.
does Johnny Manziel tier go?
in between, A,
above
A and B.
Vandy, between B, yeah, between A and B.
between A and B, I think. Or one player made them cool. Is there another one we can put in that one? The one player made them cool.
I don't think any of the ones we got left.
Is there any that we have on there?
Not that I can tell.
Johnny Football Effect.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm surprised we don't have as many in hell as I thought. Granted, we have the Vandy tier, which is pretty much hell.
Yes.
I don't think, man. I don't know if that regular Missouri one's that much better.
It's not. It's really, really not.
That
But
one
I
might
like
be,
it. I like
oh,
it better than you got C and B flipped right now.
Yeah, I was just about to say. I think that one might. I think it's
There we
better
go.
than that, but is it B tier?
Should all right, let's put the
Are we
let's
bumping Big Tiger? Are we bumping Big Tiger to hell and putting?
to Vandy. Put
Yeah,
them in
yeah.
Vandy.
Put this to
No,
Vandy.
that one's going to hell. Put it in hell. Put it in hell. We got to
Yes.
keep this a Florida joke.
Yes,
It's going to hell
I got my wish. That one's terrible.
because
put
that
that
one
in
is
C.
because that one's definitely not on the level of B tier.
Yeah,
It's not.
yeah.
Put that put the other Missouri in C, I guess.
Oh wow, I can't believe Auburn's still down here. I love Auburn's helmet.
I
it's
think
awesome.
I think that could be an S tier. I would go with A, S or A. I mean, it depends on how y'all.
If I had a
feel.
vote, if I had a blind vote, I'd vote S. I think Auburn is like one of the most iconic helmets. Like it just pops.
I think
I
it's a
go
really
A.
good one.
I go A.
Well, at least put it number one in A then for me.
Okay. Yeah, 10-4 on that. I like that.
I love the Auburn helmet. I think
Yeah,
it's sick.
I think it's a good looking helmet for sure.
I'm gonna move LSU right there too.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
we'll
it's-
situate them here in a minute.
Okay.
I'm gonna say I think the Red Arkansas. I think that could be an A. What do y'all think?
I'd
I'd
probably
lean
go B
B.
for that one.
I'd lean
I feel like
B,
I
too.
feel like it fits with those B helmets. Honestly.
Yeah,
I think it
I'd
matches
lean
with
B.
Exactly.
I don't think it's anything special, but it doesn't suck. Like it ain't like Missouri's or Mississippi State's. That what are we gonna do with this Ole Miss thing?
I don't know. I've just been avoiding it.
Is that Vandy tier?
I don't think it's hell, honestly.
I think it is Vandy tier, honestly.
It's just
kind of
whack.
it's just like why? Like why did
Yeah.
you do this?
It's
I don't know.
ugly.
We should have put a bunch of the other Ole Miss helmets on here, but we'll improve our tier.
Yeah, we can always
we
add
threw
to
this
this
we threw this together in like 5 minutes. We
Yeah.
can't add to this.
It's
later.
been a
I
good one,
literally
though,
just-
honestly. Like, it's
I
been
literally
fun.
just picked one helmet from like the main helmet from each team, and then also like an alternate.
An alternate, yeah.
Yeah.
A&M.
yeah.
I
Are we
think
sliding Ole Miss and Vandy?
What do y'all think about?
I think that's a
A&M
C tier. I think you're right. I
C?
think that's a C tier. Pretty clear
Yeah,
C tier.
agreed. There's nothing special about that at all.
I think we
And
can
does
put
it-
it in hell. I think it goes in
Yeah,
hell.
I'm down.
This one?
It's terrible.
Yeah, that one's going in hell.
Those
All right,
Kentucky Chrome,
let's review.
put
Let's
dead
review.
last.
S-
Put Kentucky
S tier.
Chrome dead last right now.
So
They're
tier,
so bad.
that one is awful.
S tier. I think that's a pretty reasonable S tier. I don't know. Maybe would bump
Go up,
LSU, but
Griff.
we already gave them one. I'm not giving them 2 helmets. I think.
Yeah, I think the S tier is good.
I think
think
S
A
tier's
tier's
great in that order though, or LSU over Ole Miss. I kind of like LSU.
Nah, I gotta go Ole Miss, dude. The powder blue is too
Yeah,
saucy.
they're cool. I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
I don't even pay
Okay.
attention to. I usually don't even pay attention to the order. It's just kind of that's the point of having a tier. You're not really ranking them.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I think B is real. I think we nailed this. I don't see anything wrong here.
Yeah. Let me
Well,
take a
okay. Well,
stand.
what should we name S? Should we come up with some names for each one?
Yeah, you just leave it S, A, B, and C. I mean,
Let me try to think of something for each one. Not each one. I think S and A are fine because that's pretty universal.
Okay.
I'm thinking of
B,
something.
we could just go like I don't know. I want to say iconic, but that South Carolina helmet most certainly is not iconic, and neither is a Mississippi State. We could say like I don't know. I think we should just leave it S, A, B, and C. I think it makes
Okay.
it easier.
I'm trying
This is
to think
also
of something.
terrible. This is
The
also
B-
terrible radio.
The B is like super stock helmets, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, kind of plain Jane. I mean, that's
Could be a
fine.
stock tier, but off the shelf maybe.
Yeah, C just doesn't do it for me.
We could name B off the shelf
Okay. And then C doesn't
or
do it
over
for
the
me.
counter. Yeah, C's fine. The Vandy tier is fantastic. The Gators helmet. Yeah, that's all good. That's all good. I like that.
I will say, in terms of the order, I think we nailed this.
I think we did too. I think a lot of people are gonna have a problem with the Florida one though, being in the Vandy tier.
I don't like the script
Well,
lettering.
I think they're terrible.
If we had a helmet with
I hate
script
them
lettering
too.
that said dogs, I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like it.
Agreed. They're bad.
And we
That
put,
orange
we
is
put,
ugly too.
we put their other helmet at A tier.
Yep.
We did. In fact, we
We
did.
can't say that we're not fair.
No. I like it, boys. Heck
I
of
do
a
too.
job.
Yeah,
Heck of a
we'll
job.
probably start doing this every week or whatever show because it's a lot of fun, to be honest.
Yeah. If you
That
have any
Chrome-
ideas, let us know that you want us to tear up. Because
That Chrome Kentucky helmet is pitiful, man.
Yeah.
Who came up with that?
See, the thing is, too, you picked that one, and I'm glad you did because we needed some stuff for L tier. I think their white one's actually pretty dope. I would probably put the white one in A or in A and maybe S. I think the white
I
one
can't
is-
think what the white one looks like off the top of my head.
I can't either. That's what I was about to say. I can't picture
It's just the inverse of the normal one.
I
But the
hate that
blue,
Missouri
the
one.
blue really
It looks like a
pops.
teddy bear on there.
Dude, I can't believe you hate the Missouri one that much.
It's terrible. I remember when
I
they
don't-
brought it out, I was like, what am I looking at?
I don't hate it. I don't hate it that much, but I mean, it can't be in C.
I'll never
It
forget
can't
when
be with those
Tennessee
other
broke out
helmets.
the Smoky Gray. That was in Disney World watching it. They beat the crap out of us. That sucked.
They didn't beat the crap out of us. Close
Nah,
game.
Kinda. It felt
Fun
like a
fact:
game.
at that game, I was at that game. The man behind me, 40-year-old man, I was 16 years old. He told me that I should have been an abortion and that everyone hated me.
Well, he's a loser. All right. Well, if y'all have any ideas out there, y'all want us to tear up, like I said, send it to us on Twitter, where you should be following us, on TikTok as well, Instagram, all the above. Appreciate you guys listening in. Football season is just nearing, and I can't wait. We have so much to talk about. We're going to run out of time just like last year, but we're ready for it. Love you guys. Go Dogs.